Happy Monday, last day of February. Happy new beginnings. Happy post Chinese New Year. It's when March is an amazing month. We have lots in store for you. And my question to you all tuning in today, comment below. Number one is, where are you streaming in from? Alvin and I want to know, where are you from? And this is our question for today. What or where is the most beautiful, amazing place that you've ever been to? Maybe it's a holiday destination, maybe it's something spiritual, maybe it's something you went with your parents 20, 30 years ago. But comment below, where are you streaming in from, and where or what is the most beautiful experience place that you have been to? Alvin, tell us, where
I'm
is
streaming in
this
from
spot for
Kajang,
you? Yeah.
and the most beautiful place I've ever been to, I would say it's my grandparents' house. And the reason why is I had some of the best memories, best moment in my life in my grandparent house. So my grandparent house are in Johor Bahru, and we celebrate Christmas every year there. And it is in that little house, in that little kampong, where during Christmas everyone, my aunties from Australia, my uncles from KL, some other uncles from Penang, all come to Johor Bahru. We spend time there. That is the most beautiful and most memorable experience that I have. So I would say Johor Bahru, my grandparent house, is my most beautiful place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't beat that now, Alvin. You already set the bar very high. But that's true. So it doesn't have to be some exotic destination. It can be what means
Right.
personally for you. Love that. Thank you
How
for
about
sharing that. For me, yeah. For me,
yes?
well, my friends, I'm streaming in from Kuala Lumpur, TTDI to be exact. And my most favorite, beautiful place that I've been to would probably be, it's very hard lah to
You
decide
got so many
because
places right now.
so many places, but at the same time it's not about an exotic destination. It's just about like, wow, this is a nice place, right? So
Mm.
I've been to many places, and I think top of my mind, this would stand out. I think at one point, Kim and I went to Italy with some friends, and just being at a very high place on a hill, we had to take a cable car up. Just the view,
Mm.
unobstructed view of the ocean, and just the weather, and it was just a combination of things. It's not about where the destination is, but just a combination of things. Just being away from things, being with someone that I love, my wife, um, and being with friends, and being at a place where, like, we had a view of the whole ocean in front of us. So that would be me. That would be my most beautiful place. I believe it was Capri in Italy, if you wanted to know an exact location. But that would be mine. But if we were to award a winner for best location, Elvin wins it already. But but great. Thank you for
Grandparents.
sharing, Alvin. But to all of y'all just streaming in, welcome to our Monday night show. And comment below. We want to get to know you, and comment below, where are you streaming in from? And the question for today is, what's the most beautiful place you've ever been to? We want to know. We're going to read your answers out as well. I will go to Instagram shortly to just read out some of your answers. But over to you, Alvin. What do we have in store for everybody tuning in today?
Before we move into our next segment, which is our topic and discussion, I invite all of you who are tuning in today on Facebook and LinkedIn to please click the share button so that it reach out to more people. And if you're on Instagram, my invitation is to invite a friend over, and you can do that by clicking on the invite button. So you can choose a few friends that you can think can benefit on today's episode 53, which is on the discussion of healthy eating. Once again, if you have any questions, we're going to spend more time today on our Q&A. Ask us anything questions, where we already have some question coming in. So if you
Hmm.
have questions, we invite you to comment your questions in the comment box. Same goes with Instagram, the little question mark at the side. We're going to spend more time answering your question anything goes. With that, our next segment is discussion over to our new series, which is go-to places for healthy eating. So Noel and I want to touch on how can we eat healthy? Do we necessarily need to go outside to eat? Healthy begins with us at home, right? And the best thing we can do is with what we have. And today, Noel, I invite you to lead us into a discussion on how do we start, Noel. If a client comes to you and said, Noel, how can I start to eat healthy?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Alvin, for the introduction. And healthy eating is actually, I think, a super hot topic. I think it's a hotter topic than what's the best workout to do. Because if you train very hard, but if you don't pay attention to your nutrition or what you eat, you may not see the results that you're looking for. You're going to get stronger, you're going to improve your fitness, but if you don't take care or look into your diet and your eating habits, then you're not going to see the results that you're looking for. So today, Elvin and I want to just kind of share. I want to share, and Elvin has some thoughts as well to contribute. We want to take about 10-15 minutes just to tell you and share some of the stuff that we share with our clients, just some inside information on what do we actually do when we work with our clients. I want to share that information with you. And our goal is that you get a few takeaways that you can implement right away. So I'm going to share. I have some slides actually. I've prepared this, and bear with us while I try to organize the camera and turn my Instagram around, and we'll do it and we'll make it happen. But your thing, what you need to do is to ask yourself, what is one or two things that I can take away and implement right away? I may share 20 different things, but you don't want to implement 20 different things into your routine right away. Just what is one or two of your biggest takeaways? And you can share that, and we have a little bit of a Q&A as well. If at any point you have any questions, click the little question mark icon. If you're streaming in from Instagram, click that question mark and leave your question, and we're going to get to that shortly. And before I get into my presentation, Alvin, I see people on Instagram answering what we asked them earlier. So I'm going to read out a few of their answers. And if you just joined in, welcome, happy Monday, and comment below where are you streaming in from and what is the most beautiful place you've ever been to. I'm going to read out some of your answers. Let me see. Penny saying you both are in white. Yes, we are. We have telepathic communication, Penny. We always show up in the same colors. Thank you for noticing that. Who's here? Kim is tuning on TTDI. She says the most beautiful place is she's been to Santorini with Noel. That's me. And our close friends. Yeah. But close friends, right? I really think that having friends and family and loved ones with you makes that place beautiful. It's really not about the location. Love that. Thank you, Kim, for sharing that. Next one is hi Bhavani. Thank you for being here. Sharon, everybody share. Okay, there's a lot of chatter. No one's sharing. Okay. Sumita saying she's from DJ. I believe it's Daman
Sarajaya. That's right.
Okay, but DJ sounds cooler. We'll take that. And her most beautiful place is Annapurna Base Camp. That's right. So Sumita is a outdoor-ish person.
Adventurer.
So adventurer. Naturally, she's been outdoors. So Annapurna Base Camp, thank you for sharing that. We have a Sarah. Sarah, heart to you. Tuning in from Puchong. Her beautiful place is Cape Town. Wow, that's nice. I've never been there. Thank you for sharing that with us as well, Sarah. Bhavani's favorite place is Mauritius with my sister. See, with my sister, with a loved one, and it felt like paradise. Awesome. Keep that coming. Keep commenting. I'm gonna set up, and there's two ways for you all to stream in and see this little 10-minute presentation that I have for you. Number one is you know that we are streaming in 3 places: Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. If you're watching this on Facebook right now, you don't need to go anywhere. You can stay right there. If you're watching this on Instagram, you have 2 options. You can either hop on to Facebook and LinkedIn and see a very different layout, or stay here, and I'm going to take my phone out of my tripod, and put it on another tripod, and you should be able to see the most of it. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to start this over.
So as
Right.
Noel is figuring out or setting up as we are multi-streaming on multiple devices, I invite those of you who are tuning in on Facebook and LinkedIn to please share this live so that it can reach out to more people. And I just want to read out one that is Chris tuning in from Shah Alam, and his most beautiful place is Lake Louise in Canada. So thanks, Chris, for your
Wow.
comment all the way in Canada.
Great, Chris Chung, thank you for being here. Okay, Alvin, I'm okay. Let me just sort this out. So to my friends on Instagram, you're gonna have to tilt your head. No, don't tilt your head to the side. You're gonna tilt your phone sideways, and I'm going to hook you up here. Okay, here we go. Gonna flip my camera around. I'm going to remove my background. There we go. All right, now let me just make this large screen so all of y'all are seeing a little behind the scenes. Let me go full screen. And here we are. Great. Can everyone hear me okay? Could you just give me a thumbs up on Instagram if you can see this? I know you have to tilt your phone to the side, but that's okay. We do that when we play our games on our phone. And you're going to do that tonight. If you can hear me and if everything looks okay, just give me a little thumbs up on Instagram. I have a little 10-minute sharing, and this is stuff that I've actually never shared out in public before. I just usually save this for my clients who do my 6-week program. So I'm excited to share this with you. I see some hearts coming up. That means we are all good. There we go. Actually, Alvin, I prefer the other view where the slide is bigger. Yeah, there we go. Okay, awesome. So we're talking about healthy eating. And the thing about healthy eating is that what is healthy eating? Sometimes it's for some of us, healthy eating means just cutting out our carbs. For some of us, healthy eating means I'm going to not eat fried food. For some of us, healthy eating means I'm going to cater food from my neighbor who has home cooked food. So what is healthy eating really? And in my many years of doing this and working with clients, I found there's this book. This is an author. This is a quote from this author. His name is Michael Pollan. You can Google Michael Pollan and you will find tons and tons and hours of videos from Michael Pollan. It's free stuff which you can watch and read, and it will change your life and completely transform how you look at healthy eating and food. But this author, Michael Pollan, summarizes healthy eating in one sentence. To him, and I would very much agree with him, he says that healthy eating is eat some food, not too much, mostly plants. That's it. No need to count calories, no need to do that. So it's very simplified. That means eat, don't starve yourself, don't overeat, and mostly plants. Okay, so I encourage you to just look up Michael Pollan to go deeper into it. But I want to start today's little discussion with this quote. And I want to show you something that we've shared with our clients, because often when we diet, when we eat something, we commit to some sort of an eating plan. What do we normally do? The first thing we do is we starve ourselves, right? We go on a caloric deficit. We cut out the rice. We Indians, I stop eating rice for 3 months. Or I don't eat my dinner, or I skip this, I skip that. We are so focused on cutting things out. So what happens when you are focused on cutting things out is that you get hungry. You're not getting the food that your body needs. So when you're hungry, what happens? You have this desire to eat. It's hard. Your friends are eating in front of you. There's meals. You're going out for dinner, and it's like you can't resist. It's hard to fight this hunger that's in you. So what happens when you're hungry and you try to fight this urge? You end up eating too much. Okay? If you keep eating too much, what happens? You gain weight. What happens when you gain weight? You get depressed. What happens? You get depressed because it's related. When you get depressed, your stress hormones go up, and when you want to bring your stress hormones down, what happens is you crave for carbs. You want to eat some more. You feel bad, and what makes you feel good again? Eating more food, right? So it's a cycle. So we tend to reach for our favorite foods because it gives us that temporary satisfaction. So hungry diet, we get on this crash course diet. Is you tell yourself, I'm not going to eat for 3 days, and then you end up overeating. You're overeating. You go and step on the weighing scale the next day. The scale goes up. You get upset. You eat some more, and then the next day, because you ate so much, you get hungry the next day again, and then you're hungry, then you restrict your food even more, and then you restrict, and then you eat, and then you gain even more weight. So you see the cycle. This is what we call the pattern of destruction. And I'm bringing this to your attention because it's not just about caloric deficit. It's not just about eating more vegetables, but many people try to restrict, and then the next thing you know, you are in the cycle. So what is this is the cycle you want to break out of. Let me propose to you a solution to this whole problem. Okay, so instead of starving yourself, instead of not eating, instead of cutting out food from your diet, I want to suggest that, hey, if you want to eat to support your fitness goals, how about you eat more? Eat more? Yeah, eat more, and eat more nourishing food. So for example, so you see on the slide here, it says 6WKC. So this is it's our 6-week challenge. But I'm going to share with you shortly what is this 6-week challenge meal. What is this healthy meal? You can replace that with a healthy meal. So in order to get out this destructive pattern, is that number one is, instead of starving yourself, eat a good healthy meal. Because what happens when you eat a good, big, healthy meal? You're full. So when you're full, can I tell you that when you're full, you don't have cravings? If you're stuffed with eating healthy stuff, you actually don't crave for unhealthy food. So the focus, if you're wanting to change your physique, if you're wanting to transform the way you eat, instead of cutting things out, I invite you to add things in. Add things in, but the right things, okay? So that you satisfy your body's need for your nutrients and eating better. And when you continue to eat full, non-processed, healthy meals, I'm going to show you shortly after this what these meals look like. What happens? You because you're full, you're not eating rubbish, your body fat starts to go down. What happens when your body fat starts to go down? You measure it, and then you see that, hey, I'm seeing progress. And that leads to motivation, right? So you're motivated, and then motivated means, okay, I'm going to keep doing this. You're not going to give up because you're feeling good, right? So you keep going, your metabolism goes up, your cravings are not there anymore because you're eating full meals. So what are these full meals? I'm going to show you shortly. Because you're eating full, you're not hungry all the time because you're full, you're eating well, you keep doing that, you continue to lose fat, you continue to lose more fat, and then you get happy. So I know it's very like an oversimplified thing, but I wanted to show you two very distinct ways of approaching a diet. One way is cutting things out. The other way is adding things in. When you cut things out, you deprive yourself and you get into a very destructive cycle. When you add things in, you get into a more beneficial way, and it actually leads to progress. Okay, I hope this is not, I'm not losing any of y'all, but comment below if you have any questions about anything that I've shared so far. I've got a few more things to share. Click the little question mark icon on Instagram, and I'm happy to answer that for you. And Elvin's there as well. He's behind the scenes. And if there's any questions, he's going to butt in. But like, okay, so now you're asking, so what am I supposed to eat, Noel? Well, if you're a plant-based eater, that means vegetarian, I don't eat meat, I'm vegan, for example. The one piece of advice I will give any person who is vegetarian or plant-based, and it's true story, as in like all the time I talk to people who are vegetarians. Did you know that vegetarians, Alvin, you're there, right? Did you know that vegetarians actually don't eat a lot of vegetables? Which is kind of funny. Because if you're vegetarian or you want to eat plant-based, where are you going to get your nutrition from? It's from plants. But sadly, a lot of people who say and claim that they are plant-based eaters, they're vegetarian, they're really just people who don't eat meat and eat a lot of carbs. So this is a template, And I'm sharing this with you. We did not come up with this, but Elvin and I are big fans of precision nutrition. And this is the template that they came up with. This is an upgrade from the food pyramid. This is an upgrade from the My Pyramid that the USDA recommends for people as well, because this is based on research. So that means if you want to lead a healthy lifestyle, what should you actually be eating? And instead of having to worry about portion sizes, how many fist size of rice, how many palm size of vegetables, how many thumb size of fat, it's so much easier to look and visualize at your plate in the form of a plate, right? So if I showed this to you, and I told you that this is what your meals need to look like, it's so much easier to visualize. If you're a plant-based eater, this is what your meal should look like. If you need these images, let me know. I'll send these slides to you. But I want to bring your attention to the next slide. And this is called an anytime meal. Anytime means if you're not training, you didn't just have a workout, this is what your meal should usually look like. Look at that. Look at the amount of vegetables. That's a lot of vegetables, Noel. It is. It is. Again, coming back to the quote from Michael Pollan earlier, eat plants, right? Lots of plants. So the focus is lots of vegetables, proteins in there, fats are in there, which you usually you don't have to add extra oil into your food. Usually, I think what we normally eat has a lot of fat in it anyway. And water or tea. This is anytime meal, and these meals are generally what I'm showing you right now. If fitness is your goal, if fat loss is your goal, these templates work very well for you. If your goal is to gain weight or to become a bodybuilder, this is not the most ideal solution for you, okay? So anytime meal means every time you're eating and you didn't just train, you didn't have a workout, your meal should look like this. Now, so you're looking at this image and wondering, Noel, where's the rice? Where's the noodles? Where's the bread? Okay, it's coming. The next slide. There you go. You see starches over there? So starches, that's where your rice bread, potatoes, your noodles, your cereal, your granola is. So if you have an intense workout, not just a walk in the park or rearranging the plants in your garden, then your meals look differently. A lot more protein, veggies and fruit, and a little bit of starches. Okay, and this is a much better way to structure your meals if fitness and fat loss and toning up is your goal. Again, I will say this, that if you want to be a bodybuilder, if you are looking to be a professional athlete, you want to compete in the Olympics, this is not for you. This is generic. And even if fat loss is not your goal, I just want you to look at the fact that look at the amount of vegetables and fruit, vegetables, protein, fats, vegetables. Okay, so it's just healthy, unprocessed food that we can all benefit from. Now, what does this actually look like? So when it comes to vegetables, so what do I eat? You don't just eat lots and lots of potatoes, not so ideal. You want to focus on eating fibrous, leafy vegetables. Eat as much as you want. And don't just eat broccoli 5 times a week, but aim for diversity. Plant diversity, that means it's going to be better for your gut health. You're going to get so much more benefits from eating a variety of vegetables. Okay, so don't if you go and eat banana leaf, doesn't mean you eat fried bitter gourd. Doesn't count. It's different. That's a different category. And so what do these meals actually look like? So protein portions. If you're wondering, like, okay, Noel, you said eat some protein. So what does it look like? Here's 1 palm of protein. No bones. It's a little chicken breast right there. Your palm. Okay, my palm may be bigger. I may have a bigger piece. Your palm may be smaller. You follow your palm size, roughly lah, including the thickness of your palm as well. Okay, so that's an appropriate portion of protein every time you eat. And when it comes to rice, this is the $1 million question. How much rice to eat? That's a fist size of rice, actually quite a lot. And normally when people go on some kind of a diet, they tend to eat 1 tablespoon of rice or no rice. You don't have to do that. You can actually include rice and any form of carbohydrates in your nutrition plan, and you can still see progress and still see results. Sharon is saying correct. Kiwi agrees also. Kiwi is saying yes, I need my food. Here's some photos from some of my clients who have shared, this is what I'm eating, Noel. You said eat this way. Here's my meals. There we go. This person had a lot of Japanese food, and this is what it looks like. So I'm not here to show you salads and kale and spinach, but this is typical day-to-day available Malaysian food. This is what your meals will look like. Okay, this is from Goodness Greens. This is the quinoa fried rice, but this is a smaller portion. You have your chili padi, you have your chicken in there. This is such a healthy portion and looks perfectly fits the template that I showed you earlier. Correct? And this is this okay, the left side looks a bit more western-ish, some salmon and stuff there. But look at the meal on the right. I love that. This is at some kedai mamak somewhere. You got your veggies, you got your curry. I think the rice is somewhere underneath in there. But that is what it looks like. So healthy eating and following the plan is actually very, very doable. And here's the magic part of the whole thing. You can eat all of those things. You can be super strict with your diet. But at the end of the day, if there's no accountability, who knows? Because I want to suggest to you that it's always useful to have a pair of outside eyes or a coach or a nutritionist or a friend or a gym buddy to help you in your journey. So this is something that we do with our members. We encourage them to have a food journal. So food journal means we get our members to every day post, hey, what did you have today? And it's not about hiding what you had and you don't want people to know, but it's about accountability. So that means I had this much of rice, I had kangkong today, I had chicken, I had this, I had Nando's, I had McDonald's. You want to track your meals, and research has actually shown that people who track their meals and journal their meals actually eat a lot less than people who don't track. In fact, let me just ask you this: like, can you remember what you ate 3 days ago for lunch? I can't. Most people can't. But if you wrote it down, it helps you identify and see patterns and trends over a period of time. Like, it's like if you did something and like, oh my gosh, this whole month I didn't lose any weight, or this whole month I gained 3 kgs. What happened? If you have a food journal, your coach or your nutritionist can go in and troubleshoot and help you see what were some of the things that could be changed. Okay? So I hope you found that helpful and useful. If you want to discuss more about this, you can always ask questions on the little question mark that you see right there. I'm going to reset my little camera here. Here we go. Just hang in there. Yeah.
I love that sharing, Nora. I like that you simplify a lot of things. You simplify how we should look at food. You simplify healthy eating. And when you show that little precision nutrition template, it makes a lot of sense that, for example, we have our guest last week, a grain, and a lot of their meals, or in fact, a lot of healthy meals, restaurants and cafes that offer somewhat follows that template.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just pasted the link of the templates that Noel have shared. It is from Precision Nutrition. The links are in our Facebook version. Do hop over to check out as Noel share in terms of how a healthy meal should looks like and the quantity. And I
Yeah.
want to ask you one thing, Noel. So you mentioned about the 6 week challenge, the healthy meals, accountability. Can you share with us a little bit more about this 6 week challenge that you do for your clients and classes and how we can know more about it?
Yeah, I can. I'll share that. But after that, I have a question for you actually, as in like how do
Oh,
you help
sure.
with your clients with nutrition? But yeah, the 6 week challenge is something where we help people with accountability. That's the secret actually. Because if I can tell anyone, if there's any piece of advice I can leave you all here today, it's not about the workout. It's not about the hardest workout in the room. It's not about the craziest diet. Everybody knows what to eat. Everyone knows what not to eat. Everyone knows they need to stay active. Right? We know that. The problem is we don't do it. So the 6 week challenge is a program that we have where we help people, we help them stay accountable. Some people have access to a gym, some people have access to a staircase, some people have access to a pool. We customize something for everybody, and it's an all-out effort to go hard in 6 weeks. And it's not for everybody. If they're super new to fitness, I do not suggest that they get involved in the program. But the program is designed to just give you a push, give you a kickstart. It's not a quick fix. The 6 week challenge sounds like, oh, shortcut is it? Like, oh, why you trainers do all this? And not a shortcut. It's a kickstart. Okay, I'm going to give you a push. We're going to coach you. We're going to help you in every way we can for 6 weeks. And our goal is that in that 6 weeks, you pick up a lot of healthy habits, make some friends, find something that you enjoy doing. Maybe you never knew that walking can be so enjoyable. Maybe you never knew that you actually like to dance, so you go do a dance class. So it's very, 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 very customizable for everyone. It's really a kickstart and a push. And if anyone wants to get in on that, just send me a message. If you're watching this show, I'll hook you up with a special discount. Let me know. But thank you for asking that and bringing that to attention, Elvin. Those because my slides were from our 6 week challenge, and those are slides that we've been presenting for the past 7 years. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed because healthy eating and movement hasn't changed. It's
I
always
love
been the
that. So
same.
so we are lucky enough to get a little bit of Noel's 6 weeks challenge secret. So if you are watching this, the good news is whatever Noel has presented over the past 20 minutes, it stays on Facebook. Okay, so do hop over back on Facebook to watch the replay, or you can also download the audio version and hear as Noel describe the meals. And if you have more questions, of course, reach out to Noel. And to
Yeah.
answer your question, Noel, I
Mm.
would pretty much say that as me as a personal trainer, or in fact, all personal trainers, we are not certified to give out meal plans. So I do not
Yep.
design meal plans for clients. However,
You
I
know.
use precision nutrition, I use infographics to kind of provide clients the guidelines and give them the ideas and suggestions and work with them. And I like the part, Noel, that you stress that we are there to be your accountability buddy, because I think most of us know how to start at least, but being accountable, doing the little things on a daily basis, that's the biggest struggle, at least for me,
Yeah.
with the clients that come training with me. And my role is to work with them to build that habits. And hey, if I can build a few habits in 6 weeks, that's a fantastic job already. Because once you got the momentum going, I like that when you shared your second graph, once the momentum going, it's just one leads to another, a positive change leads to a positive change. And I think that's is something that we all need. So thank you for sharing that, Noel. I love that.
Yeah. And I'll add on also because I think it's a bit of a sensitive topic when trainers talk about nutrition. And you mentioned it just now because we're not certified. We're not nutritionists. We are not. We are not. But at the end of the day, when someone hires a trainer, they want help with their diet. They do. And most people are not going to come and say, Alvin, okay, I want to work with you. And then for my diet, I'm going to hire a nutritionist. It doesn't happen. They're going to ask you. They are going to ask you. You cannot avoid that. So I think trainers need to be aware of what they can and can't do. We can't give meal plans because we're not nutritionists, but we can guide them and we can hold them accountable and we can point them to the right direction and give them strategies and ideas to stay on track. And that's what we trainers can do. And I think a lot of
Absolutely.
people don't talk about this. So I'm very excited about this series that we have because we're talking about go-to places for healthy eating, and you don't see many people talking about it because people are confused. A lot of trainers are feeling that we can't talk about this. No, yes, you can, and you should. Trainers should, because they don't hear it from you. Where are they going to hear it from? McDonald's
Absolutely.
or social media? Which is, I don't know what you're going to hear, but that's true. So we want to make sure that we don't have the answers. We can't write you a meal plan, but Alvin and I can point you to the right direction. And
Absolutely.
in the episodes to come, we have guests from nutrition companies and healthy eating companies, people who are trainers and nutritionists who are passionate about what they do. and we want to share with you their thoughts and how they are helping people eat healthier, which is why we've started this new series. So I'm excited. So make sure you're here next Monday. We have our guest. I won't tell you who they are, but we will you'll know soon. Okay, over to you, Alvin. What do we have next? I heard we have a bunch of questions. I see some questions
We do.
coming in on Instagram as well. I see some silly comments coming in. I don't know if I should read it or not, but maybe we should. But yeah, what do you want to? Do you have a question for us, Alvin?
We do. We have a lot, or I would say a handful of questions for both
Wow,
of
that's
us.
always great.
And
Yes.
this is an Ask Us Anything segment. So if you have a question, I invite you to comment your questions and we'll spend over the next perhaps 10 to 15 minutes, answer as many as we can. If we didn't have the chance to answer your questions, my invitation to you is we will grab hold of your questions and bring it up perhaps in our
Yep.
after party or next week. So our first question is, what is your favorite place on earth
Wow.
during lockdown? Let me pass this to you first, Nora. During lockdown, what's your favorite place on earth?
Uh, it's a trick question, is it? It's like they're trying to get. Did you not go? No. The favorite place on earth during lockdown. I think during lockdown, all of us were at home, right? All of us were wishing we were somewhere else. That's for sure. But at the end of the day, I was glad to be at home, lah, Elvin. During the first lockdown that happened, I was glad to be at home. There was a sense of peace, just knowing that I don't have to head out for the next 3 weeks, for example. So my favorite place to be during the lockdown was at home. And I also think that the favorite place to be at any time should be here. It's always now. It's about now and not wishing where we could be and
Wow.
oh right, that's the winning answer. Not wishing where we could be and this and that, but it's always now. It's the present, and we make the most of where we are right now. So okay, that's a bit going overboard. But coming back to me during the lockdown, I was just glad I was at home. There's no place I would rather be. I was with my wife, I was with my dog, we had internet, we could still train our clients online. Wouldn't change a thing. Yeah. What about you, Alvin?
love, love that. I think my favorite place would be the groceries, the hypermarket. I guess that's the only time that I'm allowed or we are allowed to go out, especially going out
Right,
to
one
get
person at a time,
food.
right? That's right.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. Although it can be a bit uncertain, I remember in the
Yeah.
early stages, but going out is like, oh, finally get to go out, get to see people, and get to get the ingredients. If you're trying out new recipes, something to look forward to. So I would say the groceries. I love these questions. So if you have any questions aside from nutrition, training, lifestyle, business, you can ask us random questions. And if we see fit, we're going to pin it up. So thank you for this question.
Yeah.
Our next question is, how many repetitions should I do for a proper workout? So we have a training question here. Perhaps I will share this first, Noel, and then I pass
Mm.
to you, see if there's anything to add on.
Yes.
A repetition is when you are performing a movement and you do a fixed number of reps, a fixed number of time. So if you are training for strength, if you wish to be stronger, then you would try to aim for 6 reps and lesser. I'm going to share a link where you can have all of these, okay? And I'm going to quickly break down different categories. If you wish to build muscle, that is what we call hypertrophy, you'll be looking at 8 to 15 reps. If you wish to improve your endurance, so if you're more on muscular endurance, you'll be doing 12 to 15 reps and above. And lastly, if you are an athlete, you wish to be more powerful, that is 1 to 2 reps. So general rule of thumb is as your weight increase, your repetition will reduce. So if you're using a light to moderate weight, then you're probably looking at muscular endurance. If you're using a heavier weight and doing lesser repetition, that will be more on strength or power. Now, this is a standard guideline given by ACSM, ACE, NASM. So I'm going to paste the link below on the Facebook version. You can read everything about it. And the next time you're in gym, make sure that you are lifting according to the goals that you want to achieve. Right. Anything you want to add on to that, Noel?
A lot.
Go
No,
ahead.
no, no. There's a few things. Number one is, I think it's a great question because sometimes we go to the gym and we don't know what to do. It's a super valid question. Um, just like, I think a common guideline is that I think that your workout has to challenge you in some form. If you go in and you don't challenge yourself, and I don't mean that challenge means you have to sweat and have to crawl out of the gym. I just mean there supposed to be some sort of effort. If you're going out for a walk, maybe an incline walk, and you go to the park where the incline is. And I think that when you challenge yourself, you get some benefit from whatever you're doing. And the second thing would be, what is the definition of a proper workout? For different people, it means different things. For a professional athlete, a proper workout means 60 minutes full on, full intensity twice a day. For someone who's never been to the gym before, a proper workout could be putting on your shoes and going for a 10-minute walk with your dog. It varies for everybody. At the end of the day, I believe this is just me, okay? Uh, any workout is better than no workout. So don't limit yourself and say that, yeah, today I only have 30 minutes. It's such a waste to go to the gym and only get 30 minutes in. No, go to the gym and get 30 minutes in instead of like, let me go tomorrow when I can get a full 45 minutes. No. So any workout is better than no workout. And that's what I would add to what Alvin has said.
Love that.
Yeah.
As Noel going to go through Instagram to see any questions, I invite you to comment any questions you have in the comment below, and we'll probably get a few more. Is there anyone from Instagram?
There is. I saw it. There we go. This is what intermittent fasting, everyone's favorite topic. Okay, this one comes from Anusasa Krishnan. Does intermittent fasting help with fat loss? I'll answer this first, Elvin. Then you can chime in. I believe that any kind of diet works as long as it's something that you can stick with. I know people who cannot eat for 5 days and just drink water. I know people who can go plant-based and just do that for the rest of their life. I know people who can go keto and just cut out carbs and they're fine. Does it work and does one not work? They all work. You got to find something that works for you. The beautiful thing about intermittent fasting, I think it's very accessible and doable for everybody. And end of the day, because you mentioned fat loss depends on caloric deficit. That means you got to eat less than what
Burning.
what you're burning. You got to eat
Yes.
less, right? So to create the deficit, there's many ways to create a deficit. You could uh, you could run for 3 hours and eat exactly the same and create a deficit. Or you could do no exercise, zero, and completely cut your diet. So intermittent fasting is one way. It's easy because you set boundaries. So in my experience, people see great success with intermittent fasting because they're setting boundaries for themselves. They tell themselves that, okay, I'm only going to eat lunch and start my day with lunch at 1 p.m. and my last meal will be 8 p.m. What did you just do? You just set yourself boundaries, which is great, by the way. You're not eating throughout the day, but you have healthy boundaries. So 1 o'clock is lunch. Maybe you eat again at 4 o'clock, and 8 o'clock you cut off. If your friends ask you out for dinner, you join them and you only drink water. Isn't that great? There's no magic. It's just that you set boundaries. And what happens when you set boundaries? That caloric deficit happens. So there's nothing magical about intermittent fasting, but it helps a lot of people because it's very clear and defined boundaries. So they end up sticking to the diet. They end up being in a caloric deficit. Also, just to be super practical, I think most people have no time to wake up and have breakfast. It's so much more convenient to wake up, drink my coffee, black coffee, and let's just focus on lunch. Problem solved, right? So in that sense, it's more of convenience than anything. It's not magical. And if it works for you, great. I encourage everybody to try every diet. If it works for you, great. Doesn't work for you, just move on. You're not a bad person. There's also been some research actually about how it for some women it doesn't work very well. But again, just try it out. If you need a resource, if you want a full on 80-page document on how intermittent fasting can help you, I don't have it. Go Google precision nutrition. You can see it's our favorite place to go. Precision nutrition intermittent fasting. They did an actual study and research and blood tests and what happens when someone starts to fast, and they examine all the results and they gave you options and multiple ways to do it. So there you go. Don't have to pay someone to tell you how to do intermittent fasting. Google precision nutrition, intermittent fasting, and then you read the research and you decide. Okay? Super long answer. Does it help? Yes, it all helps as long as something that you can stick with. Alvin, do
I
you get
love
your
that.
clients coming to you asking you about intermittent fasting?
Yes, it's a very common question. And I love everything you said. I would add on to what Noel said is a diet that you can sustain for the longest period of time, or in fact for life, is the best diet. So if you're just starting out, my encouragement to you is focus on instilling healthy habits, working on a diet that you can see yourself achieving success in it for the longest time. That would be the best diet for you. And if you would like to know more about intermittent fasting, the link to Precision Nutrition 80-page Bible on intermittent fasting is on the Facebook version. You can check it on right now. It's in the comment. It's there for you. I love this question.
Great, awesome. My friends on Instagram, any other questions? Just click on the little question mark. Anusa, I hope that helps you and answered your question. There's a question here, but it's not the question mark. Hang on. Let me see. Here we go. What are your thoughts on programs that claim they work on hormone type? Oh, ayo. Um, Let me answer that a little bit. Again, Lavanya, great question. Lavanya is asking, what are our thoughts on programs that claim to work on hormone types? There's diets that claim to work on a whole bunch of things. Again, coming back to the fact that at the end of the day, the diet is something that's sustainable and that you can continue to do, then it's going to be the right diet for you. Yes, some diets can influence your hormones. Yes, some diets can influence how you sleep, how you recover. But if it's not sustainable, if you don't have access to all the things that you're supposed to eat, it's not going to work for you. My thoughts are, because you asked a very wide question, what are my thoughts? My thoughts are every diet works. Does it mean this program that claims to work on hormone type doesn't work? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying try it. Try it, Lavanya, try it. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. Move on. Don't feel bad. Don't give up and just move on. But at the same time, because you mentioned hormones, you just also got to look out because there's all kinds of programs out there. If someone is suggesting that you should take some kind of a pill or inject yourself with something or buy this thing and it's 5,000 ringgit, that's it's a bit dodgy already, right? So just you should raise your alarm bells. But if it's just, you know what, if it's healthy eating, um, again coming back to the quote from Michael Pollan this now, eat food, not too much, mostly plants. And if you stick to that, I think a lot of us can solve a lot of our nutrition, fat loss, diet issues. I tell this to my clients all the time. Actually, we all know what to eat, we all know what not to eat. The problem is we just don't do it. We just need accountability. We need friends. We need other people to join the gym with us. We need a coach. We need a trainer. That's where the magic lies. I hope that answers the question, Lavanya. Anything you want to add, Alvin, about this hormonal type diet?
Oh, I have an answer, Lavenia. I think you're going to love this. So, in my experience, in my humble opinion, the best program that is going to work to improve your hormone is a look in changing your diet, in having more sleep, in drinking more water, in having consistent movements in your life, and reducing your stress. That is the best So if your program or the program that you saw or you're paying money for it, or it's with a trainer, with a nutritionist that somewhat move along that line, then I think you are in the right direction, because in my opinion, that works best for me and my client, that the things that I said, and it doesn't cost 5,000 ringgit, but there you go. If it does, free advice from you, from Noel and I, and we hope that helps you.
Yes.
I like questions
Right.
like this,
Oh,
Noel. Sometimes
I
I
love it.
just the easiest thing is the most effective thing. Sometimes people don't may not want to hear these, but I'm sorry, this is what you need to hear. So we are here not telling you to do this or give you a quick fix, but Noel and I are here, in fact, most Monday, answering some of these questions, telling you what you need to know, what you need to be aware of.
Yeah.
And the sooner you make certain realization, I believe, or we believe, it kind of shortcut you to the things that you really need to do, that's going to bring you 10 times closer to your fitness goal.
Yeah.
So we are telling you what you need to hear.
Yeah.
Love it.
Great.
Thank
And
you for all these
actually,
questions.
actually, Alvin, just to add to that, and everyone is saying thank you for the answers. And actually, fitness is actually quite boring. It's not very. It's. I mean, it's lots of things that you can do, but the things that bring you the most results are sometimes the most basic things. Sometimes we keep looking for the fanciest workout, the newest equipment. There's lots of stuff out there to make it fun, but actually it's the basics, right? If you go scroll on your Instagram and you're looking at all your favorite fitness influencers, and you're like, what workouts are they doing? They're doing the basics, the squats, the deadlifts, the push, the pull, the runs, the cardio. It's it. Doesn't stray from there. Of course, there's variations, but at the end of the day, the basics work. And sometimes it's boring. So you may be watching this and like, you know what, you said that 10 months ago. Yeah, I'll keep saying it again. Our slides and presentation for our 6-week challenge hasn't changed for the past 5 years. Can I tell you that? I've added stuff, but the basic stuff is still there. I've been using the exact same precision nutrition template. I printed a fridge magnet from 5 years ago, Alvin. I'm still using the same fridge magnet because it doesn't change. It's boring, but it's the truth. It's the truth.
That's right.
So great question, everyone. Last call for questions. Kim is saying online that simple and going back to the basics is the best way. If you're just tuning in, we're doing a last round of Q&A. If you have any questions for Alvin and I, nutrition related, fitness, workout, fitness business related, let us know. And then we're going to move on to a little after party that we have to you. Okay, Alvin, what's next?
Next is we have a very interesting question here that is sent through us. I think I'm just going to pin this up. I think we can
Yep,
get this done in a minute, and I'm going to pass this
sure.
to you first, Noah, because
Yeah.
I would like to hear this from you. What is a secret place you go to unwind and hide from the world? What is a secret place you go to unwind and hide from the world?
Wow, I have many. uh, Number one is it's not to hide, but it's to go and do a workout because that's just me and my physicality and my mind, and that's me. Just going for a workout. Number one. Number two is I can go for a walk. I live next to a park. Put my headphones on, noise canceling headphones. Just walk out. There could be an earthquake next door. I may not even notice. That's it. Just being again, it's movement. So the common trend with all my secret places is that it involves movement. I want to move. I'm doing something. I'm walking. I'm running. That means I would say if I went for a 30-minute run, I would consider that my secret place to unwind. Because when you're moving, when your body's moving, you actually take a break from your brain and what you're doing. So that's my secret place. Moving and walk in the park, or doing a workout. I don't have a secret room that I lock myself in. This is my room. This is where it is. It's not my gym. I have my own gym, but it's not my secret place. Trust me. Yeah. What about you, Alvin? Wow.
I I love that. I think for me would be swimming. I find that when I immerse myself underwater, and once
Wow.
again, it's also a movement. And when you're swimming, when you're under that, even people are screaming out, also you can't hear, and that is my secret place. Now, I love these sorts of questions. I kind of like get us to think and kind of share with you. And
Yeah.
it's true, even though we both two guys and they are gym, our gyms are not our favorite place to
No,
unwind.
it's not.
Yeah,
But interesting, right, Alvin? So you know how uh people go, and you know how you get ideas when you're in the shower.
right.
I'm having my shower. Oh, I have this idea. I'm doing my run, or when you're doing your swim. Do you get ideas when you're swimming? I'm sure
I
you do.
do.
Correct.
I
So it's
do.
it's it's, it's when your brain is not focusing on work, and your body takes over, your brain gets to actually focus on the creative process. So that is it. So movement. I remember you always told me movement creates emotion. That's one thing. You're feeling like having a shitty day, go out and walk. You'll feel better. Trust me. So go when you're showering, when you're walking your dog, when you're working out. That's when you have the great ideas and you're inspired. So movement is actually quite magical. So that should be everybody's secret place to go and unwind. Love that
Love it.
question.
Thank you all so much for your questions. If there's any questions that we miss, not to worry. Noel and I are going to answer them in our upcoming episode, or perhaps hop over to a little after party in Instagram that is happening in the next few minutes. All our links in today's episode 53 will be on Facebook. So Noel and I got a little call to action for all of you is to go to our Facebook Live, which stays on our Facebook page, and make a comment. What is one thing you learned from Noel's sharing today? And if you missed the sharing, the good thing is you can always go back and watch. That is Noel 5 years secret to his 6 weeks challenge. Okay, so you want to watch, share one thing, tag us, and by doing that, you of course help us to grow our podcast, share this live. And lastly, if you may miss it, we did announce this last week. We invite you to subscribe to our newsletter from our official website, which is www.twoguysandtheirgym.com. The links are all in our Facebook version of today's live.